Well, let me start off before your son gets here. Okay. My name is Eric. Um, my wife and I created the program called Winning Strategies, Fatherhood, the Courts, and Custody. Um, we created it based off of what I was going through with the court system and how I dealt with things. Um, became educated through studying the court system and studying the law. Um, we have one of our board members who also helps fathers out with the same situation that I was dealing with. He said, "Well, listen, this is information that can be useful for a lot of fathers." So we put together 5 years ago the entire program to be adopted by the state of Maryland, okay, as a nonprofit. And then we put in for our um, 501c3 from the federal government. We awarded that. So we are recognized as a national nonprofit organization. What we do, okay, because people always ask, well, what do you actually do? I was like, we advocate and we educate fathers and some mothers on their on their co-parenting rights. Okay, we try to give them as much support as possible. Support as far as writing letters on behalf of the parent or your son, and for this conversation right now. Excuse me.
So I am following you on Facebook.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, when you said winning strategies, I was like, okay, it didn't all click.
Yes.
Because of the flyer, I didn't go back to check
Okay.
if I was following it on Facebook. And I just did. I said, all right, okay.
Yes. So, Winning Strategies, Fatherhood, the Courts, and Custody is the whole nonprofit. Okay. So, but basically, what I do, okay, I go out to educate, advocate, and tell fathers how we're here to help them. We're not here to make money off of you because being a parent, you're not. It's not here for the money. Okay. So we let them know how we working together with them, not just me, not just them. We'll put together their fight, okay, to have everything lowered, to have the custody that they want, okay. But back to where we started off. Um, we've been doing this for the last 4 years now, okay. Um, we've been picking up momentum. We've been picking up speed. So far to say that yesterday I had a conversation with the other attorney. Okay, yes, I say attorney because we couldn't take the child support system to court ourselves because we're a nonprofit agency. So I reached out to the community law center here in Baltimore, and they put me on with several attorneys. They're going to take our case federally for free.
Oh, great.
Yes, and we are. Um, the other attorney said, "Well, let's get some more data, and before we go ahead and send it to Washington D.C." Okay, and I said, "I'm all for it." My angle was a little different, but I'm a novice. I didn't go to law school. Okay, so he told me to do it this. I didn't go to law school, but I didn't go. But it was something called an injunctive relief. An injunctive relief gives citizens the power to ask the agency, the child support agency, the Department of Human Services, tell them to stop what they're doing until there is accurate data used to come up with everything. Okay, the data we said that we want to look at why are child support rates being so high? Why are you not giving fathers their custody rights? So with that, that's what we're trying to do. Okay, we're trying to just give this whole gambit of injustice a kick. That's what it is because basically they're not adhering to their laws when it comes to fathers. We've been in Annapolis since 2018. We've been um, trying to get legislators to push for better laws. Okay, trying to get legislators to hear fathers. They're not. They don't want to hear us. So I talked with a lobbyist organization. They came to me, a nobody, asking us for our input on how things should go on certain laws for fathers. And I'm like, he was listening. He's like, well, Eric, you know what? He said, I hear you. And trust me, we're going to be reaching out to you again for some more information. But I want you to realize, I want you to think about what the whole thing is with winning strategies. Do you want them to hear you, or do you want to just go forth and advocate for fathers and not worry about them hearing you? Because there's two different things. One, if you just go off on them and just advocate for fathers, you're not trying to make friends whatsoever. Okay, and that's true. He's like, good morning, sir. How you doing? If you want them to come down and listen to you, if you want them on your platform, yeah, you're gonna be, oh yes, 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 yes. No, fathers are taught of being, oh yes, yes, and you still kicking us. So basically, I said, well, no, we're just gonna go at them, point blank period. He said, well, then I've seen what you do. I see how you operate. Then you continue what you do. Okay, go at them. Keep going at them. This past legislative session, it was a group of fathers. We went down there outside on Lawyers Mall when they come out, and we were advocating for having a fatherhood fairness commission. What a fatherhood fairness commission does is have the legislatures put forth money to investigate why are you doing the injustice to fathers? Why are you creating this fathers to be, how can I say it, destitute, you might as well say, because if they keep continue to put the high child support uh, tag on them, then that's what you're doing because they're not going to be able to maintain. They're going to be always trying to rob Peter to pay Paul. Okay, I'm not talking out of my head. I'm speaking from experience. I have 34, no 30. She'll kill me. She's 35 now, and her brother is 16. Okay, I've been through battle for both of them. Okay, um, so that's how we started. My wife got with me. My wife cal- tried to calm me down one time in court because the magistrate, who I can say now, because she's retired, Magistrate Kelly, I went up against her. Okay, she was trying to take my custody away from me, and I was like, "Yo, whoa, whoa, you can't do that. I had my son. I was raising him. Well, I'm still going to do this." And I'm like, "Well, you know what? I want another trial at this." So I educated myself on things. I educated myself on what she can do and what she can't do, what my rights are as a father. Okay, so basically, when I went in the second time, I was more knowledgeable about what can go on, about how things can happen. Good morning, sir. How you doing? All right. Once I did that, that changed the whole ball game because she asked me questions and she was making statements to me, and I told her, "No, I don't agree. You can't do that." So basically, once she saw that, she tried to, like, at the end of the court case, write in her position on what everything was. I try to let every father know you have the right to write an appeal against whatever is being done. You don't need a lawyer to do it for you. How do I know? I wrote my own. And guess what? Mine won and beat what she did. So that meant it got hers thrown out. Okay. And we had to start a whole new trial. I did this. I'm trying to get this to have other fathers to understand this. I'm trying to help other fathers to know about what's going on. I'm trying to help other fathers to understand that is your seed just as much as it is hers. Remember, it takes 46 chromosomes, 23 from the mother, 23 from the father to make up that child.
Correct.
Okay? So basically, that's the gist of everything. However, but before we begin and I get too deep into it, can I have your name,
Jeffrey wins.
Mr. Wentz?
Yes.
Jackie wins.
Mr.
Jeffrey was the second.
Greg Thorpe.
All right. Good morning. All
I
right.
have a.
Before we begin,
Before I get
oh Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to be here this morning. Thank you for allowing us to just come share and hear what can be done about the travesty of the costly situations here in Baltimore City. I want to thank you for giving me the spirit to do this for fathers, because everything happens by you. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. I'm sorry.
No, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that. But in your research and what you've done, has the matter of systemic bias come to point of view when it comes to fathers?
And I'm glad you asked that, and yes. Okay, yes. And that's why, well, I mean, go back. You heard me say it before, but and this is number 7 on my agenda.
Okay.
Um,
If I'm a little ahead, I'll
no,
wait.
no,
I can
no,
wait.
no. I'm gonna take everything as it comes,
All right.
because our attorney that we have, Mr. Mosley, Al Mosley, he stated to us, Eric, you have a gift of finding things out, and from the biasness, you can do a lot of things. So basically, with that, like you said, the systemic part of it, yes, that's why we are asking for the congressional inquiry on it. Okay, so to address that, all right, to address how things are going along, to address how we can get past this, all right. It's been a million nights. People thought my wife put me out, but no, I spent time downstairs in the office looking up situations, looking up certain bills that can help fathers. So let me say this:
Mm-hmm.
your grandparents, right?
Yes.
What year was your grandchild born in?
Oh, geez. Oh, geez. 22.
22. All right. So
I'll be 2 years old this year.
Hey.
so
Okay.
most people don't know this. The year that the child was born, that's the year of the rules the laws you follow. Okay, you can put and I can show him how to do it. He could put something together to have an affidavit to have his rights grandfathered in on the year that child was born. Okay. The child support laws were very different back then from 2022 to 2024. Don't you think?
Yeah.
All right. So basically, that is all what it's an education. It's like we're here to advocate, educate, and empower. That's our motto. Even on our website, advocate, educate, and empower. But basically, that's what Al said for us. Said, well, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this like this. I'm gonna. Hey, listen. You are a godsend to us because you're doing it pro bono. Okay, so with whatever you've done and how you see fit, just as long as there's communication between us, we're gonna go with that. Mr. Mosey also shared with me about how when he was before certain judges in PG County, the he said, "Well, how can you put together certain rules when the law states that this is how it's supposed to be done. The judge turned to him and said, "One more word, and I'm gonna put you in contempt."
Mhm.
I still want to know why you're still doing this. Okay, you're held in contempt because they don't like when you question the system. Okay. However, the pandemic, if one thing the pandemic did, it gave me time to study. Okay, I couldn't be in the office, so I was just looking and studying. From what I found out, is what I want to educate fathers about. Okay, I want to help fathers understand. Let them be knowledgeable enough so that they won't be taken by the system. Now, my agenda for today, I said the first one is, why can't I be a co-parent? There's nothing saying that a father can't be a co-parent. Okay? There's nothing saying that a father can't be a co-parent. What I want fathers to understand is this, though. Before you think about going up into court, I want you to put your game plan together. Because here's something that happened in 2020, October 1st of 2020, that a lot of fathers don't know about. And as a federal nonprofit, we can't say we are for any Democrat or Republican. But
Mhm.
this is what happened by Governor Hogan. He signed the bill on October 1st, 2020, saying that if a father can have prove that he has 94 overnights, that meant that his child support can be taken down. Let's look at it. 94, that's only quarter of the year. Because there's 365 days in a year. If you're going to get a quarter of it down from 94, look at what you can do with 88. Okay? Your child support is based off of your number of overnights. That's what I want fathers to understand. Okay. Now that brings up that's going to be kind of tight for all these fathers that have two or more kids. Okay, but every father needs to understand. October 1st, 2020, that bill went into effect that you only need 94 overnights to have your child support cut down. Yes, Mr. Wayne.
I was gonna ask, I just Googled it. I was about to ask, what was that bill number?
I don't remember the bill number, but I know it's October. If you put it in Google,
It's 1339.
okay, House Bill
House Bill
13.
1339.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. So
October 1, 21.
2020.
2020.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me research my fact check. Go ahead. Continue,
okay.
Continue.
Now, I said, number two, where can I look to start my process of being a co-parent? Because we're not a law service, we're an advocacy and education service. I have to let fathers know about this. Okay. First, I want you to look at the Maryland's People Law Library at peopleslaw.org. Okay. That gives you a good framework of what you can do as a father. That gives a lot of good avenues of what you can understand about how you can put things together. Now, here's one thing about that. At a session, the first session we had a father in here. He was saying, "Yeah, I did that because they was talking about an affidavit of parentage, and she was trying to take me down for child support, and I haven't even signed the affidavit of parentage." Really? So they can't make you pay child support if you don't if your name is not on the birth certificate? You say what? I'm like, yeah, you willfully gave up that right if you went there and signed and your name was not on the birth certificate, because that's saying that you are a ghost is paying money. How you say that, Mr. Smith? Because you're not deemed by the state as being the child's father because your name's not on the birth certificate. You see a problem with that? He said, yeah. I said, so listen, as an advocacy organization, this is what we're going to do. We're going to write a letter to that place that's supposed to be that mediation service, and we're going to tell them how they've been mistreating you fairly. This is what happened after I sent the email. Okay, sir, your case is, we're stopping all communication with you. You have to talk back with Baltimore City Court. I'm like, oh, he don't want to talk to you now since you made him aware of the law. So then the next thing was we had to help him write a letter to the Maryland law down in Annapolis. This is what she told him. I'm sorry that this has happened to you, sir. You don't have to deal with them. We'll wait until you take your case to court. Okay? I reached out to him yesterday and I was texting him while I was at work. I said, so who you in front of? He was checking, because every father has a right to check Maryland case, check to see what's going on with that court case. He's going to be in front of a judge that I went toe to toe with again, Judge DePietro. Okay. I say I went toe to toe with him because on a Zoom call, he gonna tell me he gonna turn my mic off. I'm like, no, you're not. I'm turning my mic back on. You gonna give me my time to speak. Everybody gets their time to talk. Okay. I hate when they try to shaft fathers like this. Okay. That's why I do what I do. Okay. And let me just say this. I don't do this for profit. I do have a full-time job, and it's a little demanding, but I'm glad I got those days I can take off. Okay. I use my time when I went down to Annapolis. I use my time when I go to. I normally go to Annapolis during sessions because I want to talk with legislators face to face. I want to go down there when I want to advocate or tell people that their bills are trash. Okay. How can you put this up here against fathers? And I'm gonna go into that a little later. So basically, yes, one, use the People's Law Library. Okay, People's Law. Okay, peoples-law.org. Next, he says, well, if I'm still confused, is there another option for me? Sure, the Maryland Volunteer Lawyers. Have you called them yet? Have you reached out to them? The Maryland Volunteer Lawyers. You heard of it? Yes. The Maryland Volunteer Lawyers Association. You can talk to them for free. They'll let you know. All right. Their number is 410-547-6537. Again, that's 410-547-6537. All right. Now, if they don't provide me with the personal help that I was looking for, can I ask Winning Strategies to assist me? And I say, of course you can. Just for my sake and your sake of time, because time is so precious. Okay, and I'm gonna go off verbatim what I wrote. Okay, of course you can, but I want you to know the minute you start to fall off or not fulfilling your end of the bargain is when we will stop assisting you. Okay? We're going to stop. Why? Because time is precious. It's just precious, not just for you and I. It's precious for that child, for those children that's not seeing their father. Okay? It's really precious for them because they're missing that piece. They're missing that piece of them that they need to know about. So if you're going to sign up to talk to us whenever, then do that. We give the fathers that come to us two mock trial sessions. Okay? They're like, what's a mock trial? A mock trial is this. We see how you're going to be once you go to court, how you're going to present your case. We see how you're going to look at how you're going to deliver your message. Then after you are scored, because you're going to be scored by fathers who've gone through our program, other people who like our board members. Once that is done, then after you get the education from us, after you get the mm, education and the knowledge from us, you can start to study and together your case. After you do that, you'll get a second mock trial. Your second mock trial, that's when it's going to be close to your case. We're going to prepare you to be able to stand up in front of that judge or that magistrate. Okay, that's it in a nutshell. Okay, normally we would charge for this, and it's like 98% less than what a attorney or lawyer would charge you, but you don't get a mock trial. Okay, you get what they want to give you. Really, that's what it is. You get what they want, and they say, "Is this okay?" But they don't explain it to you. Here, you get the explanation. You get that one-on-one experience. Okay. Right now, we are doing it because, as a fundraiser, what we're doing, we are at the baseball stadium. We're doing fundraiser. We have a stand there, and we've just been asked to come back to do the Raven Stadium. So if fathers can do that to help us out in 1 or 2 games while we're trying to make money for the organization, that pays for their whole portion of the program. We don't ask them. We just ask them for their time.
So to work their concessions, that's
Well,
okay.
work the concession stand with us during any game because we only do weekend games because we have
Okay.
professional individuals.
Okay.
Okay, and we know people. Like I said, time is precious.
Right.
All right. Saturday games are at maybe 4 or 7. Sunday games are no longer than they start at 1 o'clock. And how the new rules of baseball, you can be up out of there in no time.
Now,
Yes, sir.
can anyone volunteer to do that?
Anybody can volunteer.
Okay.
And listen like this. If anybody gonna volunteer on the sake of the father gets the benefit of it. He still gets the service, and we still get the.
Everyone,
It's a win-win
it's a
situation.
win-win situation.
There you go. Now, who and why says I have to pay so much in child support? We've heard and listened to fathers about that for such a long time. Legislatures, those delegates, those senators in the state of Maryland, if you're not reaching out to them saying, well, hey, can we have a commission to address the injustice of child support? Then why? So I want to encourage fathers to take it to them. I want to encourage fathers to, and we have a template.
Yeah,
Okay?
I was about to ask.
We have a template.
Okay.
Okay, only thing you gotta do is just plug in your information. You have your template. If you want us to print out, we'll print it out.
Yeah.
We have a template because it's coming from you. Okay? Remember, they're here to work for you. They're here to answer to you. You want my vote?
Exactly.
Okay. Any questions before I go on? From anybody? All right. I know I'm throwing a lot of stuff out here to you.
The importance of the I forget what we called it. It's all like almost like cold calling.
Mhm.
I've done several of those. A group of us, we did several of those with email blasts, the cold calls, and we tried one this session. Didn't kill the bill, but we got language stricken out
Out of the bill. And that's
we
important.
supported the bill. We just wanted language stricken out of the bill. So by doing the email blast, we did in fact get that language changed in the bill. So it is possible. I guess this is the grapevine. If you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that know 500 people, send them that blast and just have them send it out. That's more voices than just yours going out. So that's a very powerful tool to use. And what you're saying, I was talking to my son about the same thing. I didn't know that there was a body down in Annapolis already to lobby for fathers, because I told my son, I said, let me see if I can contact some council people that I may know, see if they can go down here and do that. But you're already there,
Yes,
so now I know.
we're there, and we try to be as we consider ourselves David.
Yeah, there's a big giant.
It's a big giant. We are David to that giant, and you know the little Philistine David did what he did with that rock. That's what we're trying to do, just with the education we're trying to give the fathers.
I go to court in Annapolis, right? They chewed me up, spit me out. My child support case was that. My child custody case.
What did they finally give you? They made the weekend
I've
dad.
been fighting for years, man. I'm 32. I had my kids young. My daughter 10.
Okay.
I was gonna pay for lawyers. I went pro bono. Came down to it. I washed my hands with it. They took one of my days and some more. They did a whole bunch of stuff. COVID. I couldn't get no modification when the world was in shambles. People was losing money. They would have modified, took some of my days from me. But now that you're stating about the change in the law, if I had more than a certain amount of days, I started to think like that might have been one of the reasons they took one of my days from me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I went for a modification. During that modification, they took one of my overnights.
Because you're questioning them. Okay? They don't want to be questioned. They want to feel like a demigod, like they running over you. And it's not. Okay? And I'm gonna touch on that subject in another one. Let me finish up with this one. Okay. Now, they said who or I have to pay so much in child support. I've heard that, and they said that there's like agencies in the state of Maryland. There's child support agency. Okay. And they have to answer to the state. Okay. Now, here's the thing that most people don't know. Okay. You ever heard of something called the Social Security Act, Title 4D? That's how child support is made. The Social Security Act Title 4D program states that if the non-custodial parent, mainly the father, is absent for so many days, that they can make child support against him for being absent. If you look at your case, sir, Junior, online, or sir, right there, on Maryland Case Search, I bet you they have Title 4D. They have the number 4 and the letter D after it. Have you seen that? They made you a part of Title 4D. They are already saying that they're going to take your custody away to make you pay more in child support. Okay. Now, how you combat that? Like I just said, or I said in the beginning, you put together your plan and you show how your child access, how you want your child access to go. Okay? And they can't refute. I mean, they can try to, but if you press the issue, like I'm trying to help the father, or we're trying to help the father in Howard County, he put in for during custody of his children. After he looked at it, he was like, Mr. Eric, what she said in here has nothing to do with what I presented to the court. Okay, now what do you want to do? Huh? You just blatantly said out your mouth that they didn't adhere to what you want. Okay, so what do you want to do? I want to go back at them. That's all I need to hear from you, because it's you. We can't have you. It has to come from your mouth.
Right.
Okay, so I get that from fathers, and we're trying to help them as much as possible. We want them to know that the system has to stop screwing you. And I apologize for my language, man. And I get so worked up and I get so angry about it, but I learned now. I'm saying now, my wife helped me to not be so angry all the time. Okay, it started with my mom before she passed, but my wife carried the torch, so to say. And once I found this out, once I figured out how to help fathers at another aspect of it, it made it better for everybody. So what we have to do now is finish educating the fathers to empower the fathers. Finish educating them to empower. Finish educating them to empower. I repeat that because it's an educational process that needs to take place. Okay? No one else is doing it. Case in point, we ask agencies, House to Roof, Ronald McDonald, are they giving fathers the services that they offer to mothers? What do you think they say?
No.
Okay, but yet you are using fathers to fund your agency. Okay, we'll give them educational classes to fight to be better fathers. Oh, but are you giving them the housing that you give to the mom? And that, sometimes the mom lied to you in the first place to get. Okay. I don't want to be like that. However, that's what it boils down to. If you don't take it to them, they're going to continue to do what they want.
So, I don't mean to laugh, but it just tickles my brain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've never been in the House of Roof.
Mm-hmm.
I've walked in there. I don't know the makeup of the staff.
Mm-hmm.
But when I hear House of Roof, first thing that comes to my mind,
Battery.
women.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to teach me to be a father from a male's point of view versus a female's perspective?
What'd you come up with?
I believe I came up with the same thing you just did.
Like four. You got me going in now. Like they force female perspective on it, in my opinion. Like they don't want to hear our opinion.
No.
Our perspective.
No.
Yeah, that's why I use those two words.
Mm-hmm.
Male's point of view and
Mhm.
perspective.
They told us empathy.
Ah,
Empathy.
there you go. Excuse me.
Okay. Empathy.
We need to be. That's basically what they told us. We had empathy.
Well, there. Oh.
They pushed that word heavy.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh.
Now,
So
go ahead.
So your empathy is also being judged by their passion.
Right.
Okay.
Great, because
So
if
how much collagen must he put in his lips?
but see, you got to look at it like this. I want you to look at it like this. Okay. I have nothing against women whatsoever.
Right.
Okay. However, when it comes to access to my child, don't tell me I have to have less access in order for you to continue to pilfer money off the federal government so you can get money here to operate in the state. No, you look at it other ways to get money. Okay, but let me go with this part right here. But what else should you know? That if you have a child custody case pending, your child support case stops. Didn't know that, did you? If you have a child custody case pending, they cannot go forth with child support. Why? Because your child custody determines your child support. And if you have a child access case pending until they make a decision on your child access case to know what you're going to do, the child support case has to stop. I had a father in Baltimore County say, well, they kept going.
Like temporary order.
They kept going. I'm like, listen, let me go to court with you. I took a half day off of work. I went up there with him. He's like, who are you? I said, I'm the advocate for him. Well, you can't go in there with him. Don't y'all let lawyers go in? Aren't lawyers advocates? I'll be right back. Nobody can go in with him, not even a lawyer. Oh, now it's changed, huh? It's about having, like, did any of you ever get offered mediation?
Yeah.
Okay. Was the other parent there?
They didn't want to show up.
They didn't want to show up? Was she there?
Yeah.
Did she have a lawyer with her?
No.
Okay. Right then and there, you can have an advocate or lawyer or whatever, okay? Just to walk everything through with you. Now, I've been to mediation. My son just turned 16 last week. No, Monday, matter of fact. I've been to mediation 3 times when he was younger. 3. And I'm like, why do I have to keep coming back when it's not me causing the issue?
But will they bring those notes up in court?
They can't. They can only bring them up in court if there is something talking about domestic violence or something else wrong. However, if there's something that can be said against your case that can help you out, you can always ask the judge to look at the notes from the mediation session. Okay, that's one of the things that they dislike about me. Every time when I kept doing my own court case, my own paperwork, I always referenced their work, and I threw it back on them all the time. And that's what I want to get the point to get to other fathers. You have to be willing to throw it back at them every time. Every time. You cannot be passive in this situation. Because if you become passive in that situation, they will eat you up. No matter how they try to dress it up, they're going to be nice at the beginning. But at the end, no. That's another reason why they say in 30 days. Okay? If they don't give it to you right then and there, normally at the end of the court session, because there's a clerk listening, that's why they say you got to be real quiet in court because it's being recorded, because the person is actually typing everything up for you. Once it's given, if it's not given to you, then I want you to realize that they're looking at other ways of trying to make it fit. Now, it says when you write your appeal, you have 30 days after the session, after that court case. All right? But you have to have the order in place. And pay attention to the postmark on the envelope, because they're going to go by that postmark date, not when you get it. You have 30 days after that to put your appeal, to put up how you feel as though the court was wrong. All right? So it's an education thing right now. All right. Now, and this is my my third point. You have to be clear and make sure you read or get someone else to read it to know what's going on. Okay, because and I put this in quotes. Have to get through the mess of the court system, the mess, because that's what they're going to make it feel like. Make it. You're going to look at it. And you're going to try to figure out, well, why they put this case here, why they put that here. Okay, how does that fit into me? It's the mess. Your case is unless if you were married to the woman, that's when it can be confusing. But child custody issues are real simple. Really. Okay, you got two parents talking about what they can do or what's the best in the best interest of the child. Okay, so you're telling me every father, a majority of fathers in Baltimore City don't have their best interest of their child? You're lying. They do. And I keep telling them. And even for this organization, when I started, I had to put up some data, but the data that I used came from my situation. I'm like, excuse me, hold up. Let's look at something. My child, who is now 35, I had custody of her. And once she got out of second grade, I had her up until she was like 13 or 14. Why? I said she can go back home? Because I'm a man raising a young lady. I can't do that. Like a woman trying to raise a boy. Can't do that. There were some things that she needed to understand that I couldn't tell her. I could try my best, but there were some things I could not do. So I need fathers to have that desire and that passion to want to be there in the lives of their child or their children. Okay? Winning Strategies is only here to give you that inspiration, give you that support. But if it doesn't come from you, go ahead and be a weekend dad. That's what I tell them. Go ahead and be a weekend dad. But for me and mine, and a lot of other fathers, it's more than just a weekend. One father in our program, I think you may have heard about this or saw it. He got full custody of his daughter. He beat his mother's attorney based off of what he learned here. Name was Amari. He he took her to court. No, she took him to court, trying to ream him for child support. He was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! What about the access to my daughter?" And the judge was like, "Yeah, what about his access to his daughter?" She couldn't substantiate that. Okay, you can't, Mr. Omari. You have a room for her, right? I've always had a room for her ever since she left her. Oh, full custody. She has to pay him child support. I say that because fathers need to understand how to go at this. Stop thinking that you can't, and you can't. I will be there to help you as much as possible.
So how you go at it when she's not allowing you access?
Do you have an order in place?
Yeah.
You continue. This is let me before I go on, let me say this. I hadn't seen my son in 4.5 years. I just got to start seeing my son like 2.5 months ago. 4.5 years. I stopped. She cut me off when he was like 10 and a half or 11. Okay. So, did you see an interview out in Baltimore County when the student was talking about violence in the classroom? No. Okay. My niece sent me a text. I was sitting at my desk at work. She said, Uncle Eric, is this your son? Yeah, what school? She talking about, I went to Baltimore County Board of Education. That was on Friday. I was at Baltimore County Board of Education on Monday talking about that's my child. I need to see all his grades and everything because according to Maryland law, I need to have access to his grades, his medical records, everything's what's going on with him. Okay, Mr. Smith, no problem. He's at this school. You want to go? Oh, no problem. I'm going right there now. Right after I leave your office. I drove right over there. Mother was still trying to not give me access. So I put in for petition, motion for contempt. She's keeping me away. However, I'm not being smart. It wasn't about her. However, I pushed. She's kept me away from my son for 4.5 years. I said, it's a little box at the bottom. It says, do you want jail time to be imposed? Boop, yes. Yes, because she not only affected me, she affected my son from not being able to see me. Okay, so maybe we go to court next month. I may have a change of heart. Say no, she's acting all right now. I probably would do that. Say no, I want jail time for her. But that's what you can do. Here's another thing. Did you hear about the student that got stabbed in the classroom in Baltimore County?
I try to stay away from the news.
Okay. Well, I couldn't that day because the student that got stabbed was my son. Okay. So, and it was through that unfortunate situation that everything started evolving. When I said evolving, his mother called me. I couldn't answer because I was at work. I went outside of my break. I said, "What's up? Your son just got stabbed." Well, what? Where? I went to. Excuse me. I went to Baltimore County. The hospital to see him. One of the conversations I had to see my son at the time, 15 years old, laying on that gurney in that hospital hallway. He says, "Dad, I got one question. Mom, I haven't seen him in 4.5. Where you been for the last 2 years, Dad?" Say what? So you mean tell me you never got the text messages? You never was told that I called you? No. When you get out the hospital, we're gonna have dinner. We're gonna sit down and talk. From that point on, it's been easy breezy. My son was carrying a 1.9 GPA. Just by me being in his life, my son got honor roll. My son is one of the top performing students in Spanish. They said, well, pardon my expression, man. They said, well, what the hell changed in a matter of 3 weeks? Access to his father. That's what mattered. Because when I was leaving my ex-wife, my son and I left. Got a 1-bedroom apartment. His bed on one side, my bed on the other side. So when I got up in the morning, I got him up. When I got up in the morning, if he ain't ironed his clothes the night before, he was up there ironing his clothes. So basically, it was me instilling in him those values of being mature, make sure things are tight. That was helping him. If he didn't have that in him to continue, then basically he was lost. Basically, he didn't know how to function. And basically his mom wasn't allowing him to have that. That's what she's doing to you. You keep putting that contempt in. Okay?
So flood.
Hmm?
Flood.
Yes. Yes.
And keep checking that box.
And keep checking that box. Yes. Yes. Keep checking that box. Do you want jail time? Yes, I do. Until she starts to allow me access to my child, I want her to have jail time.
I mean, how often do you have to keep putting it in before that?
Because until those senators and those delegates in Annapolis make changes to the Maryland child custody aspect, that's why we're going to continue to do that.
And then another note too, though, I done filed a lot of contempt, right? And they done throw them out.
I'm sorry. Come on.
And I come with facts. And they disregard them.
Keep coming. Keep coming.
Yeah.
Now, when they threw them out, what did you say? What did you say?
I went multiple times, but eventually, like I said, it's like Buck.
No, I don't want you to do that anymore. This is what we're gonna do. Okay. Google has a little platform called Google Scholar, where it helps me look up when I was looking up for my case. My case, I took my case to the Maryland Supreme Court, and I was arguing my case. I know they were like, "What the hell?" He stopped. I'm like, "No, you got my son." I took my case all the way from downtown Court of Special Appeals to the Maryland Supreme Court because they weren't doing their job. Okay? That's what you have to do. Now, this is how you do it, though. We show chronologically how they have not worked in your behalf because of if you filed this time, if you filed this that time, and she still continue to do it, then who's at fault? The courts are, because they were supposed to intervene when they should have.
On their order.
Thank you.
Right.
See how you see. But basically, yeah. Any other questions before I go on?
If you check jail time and they don't, I mean, isn't that a trigger or something that something should take place?
It's
Look at that as, I believe the courts look at that as tit for tat.
They can look at it as tit for tat. However, this is why I mentioned Google Scholar, because if you look up past cases, okay, that was like that mimic his, then basically you go, whoa.
Reference points.
Whoa, wait a minute. You mean to tell me this is how we acted this time according to somebody else, and now he's here asking for the same thing? This is why it's going to be up to Junior there to put together everything, to put forth everything. That's why it's important for Winning Strategies to help Junior there put forth everything, because they're still arguing about grandparents' rights. They try to take grandparents' rights away from y'all. Okay, my mother schooled me on this before she passed. She was like, "Hey, I'm only grandparent. I can only do but so much. She ain't gonna always listen to me." But with Junior and getting him the information and education that he needs for this situation, this is going to be key. Now, what is also I thought was beneficial, and I think I'm still doing it. My son I've been in court for my son ever since he was 5. I kept all of the court filings. So like now he's 16. He said, "Well, Dad, have you ever fought for me?" I say, "I need you to block out 3 hours of a Saturday. So I want you to sit down and look at everything that I filed for you. Then you can talk about if I've ever come after that." Okay? Now, before we go on and almost close, anybody else have anything that you want to say or ask?
How do you come back? Go ahead.
If you already put a contempt in, how long till they really see when you get in front of the judge? Or how do you go in front of the judge to prove that she's in contempt?
We have your. We tell fathers to always put everything on a get a little notepad. Put everything down there. Put everything down there. Okay. She doesn't allow you to have the access that you want. That's in your order. You put it down there. Now, this is how you make it stick. When you go to court, you say, Judge, here's the documentation that I have that on Friday we were supposed to exchange at the Walmart. However, she texts me an hour before the exchange and say, well, she can't make it. Here in the document, it says you're supposed to reach out to me 24 hours in advance. And if you really can't make it, you're supposed to reach out to me 3 hours in advance, not 45 minutes before we're supposed to meet.
Well, she's not even doing that. She just telling you flat out, I ain't.
There you go. You got this.
Hey, let me touch on his right, because you sound familiar. You might got a younger kid. I told they treated me else, picked me out, so I learned. I was in the same boat. Again, not being able to see my child. The court told me that because there was a gap in us not seeing each other, they started me off with a rolling slow schedule, like a weekend father, like you said, right? But during the contempt periods, when she wouldn't let me see him, when she would be late, like either, you know, was in be there at the 15 minutes, you could leave, or whatever the case may be, she would hold me up. I would wait 30 minutes, file contempts, throw them out, dismiss me. But like you said, now you taught me something new. Like I should have went to special appeals, Supreme Court, things like that. Because like you say, well, your document is showing the court order say this, text messages say that. But me going in there not knowing, being younger, not knowing, I was taking text message pictures, like you said, notepads, write stuff down, try to keep my proof. But because what they was doing, the position they was in, they kind of just washed out my contempts. So like you said, now the state and the Supreme Court, they bumping heads now.
Now listen. Now, I want y'all to also know something. Regardless of where your case is, you have a service that you can look up and you can write in about your case. Okay. I can't really take it, but I would because it lets you write in about any judge that you've had for anything. Okay. And they got tired of me on that too. They tried to block me out my access. They tried to block my IP address from sending in information. Okay, because what did I do? I would hit them every time. Every time I would go there. This is what your judge is not doing. They're not following the law. Okay? So, fathers, we have the power. It's just using the power that you have to get what you want.
I'm going to piggyback on what my son was saying, where his dilemma lies. In the order, it specifically states that he's to pick up his son at daycare.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll notify the daycare or babysitter, or
Yeah, babysitter.
10 minutes,
10 minutes, an hour.
10 minutes or an hour before
Even if he's there in attendance.
he'll say, I'm coming to pick up my son. And she'll go, he's not here. So then he'll send mom a message through the court text system and to ask, where is he? If he's not at the day babysitter, where is he and who's watching him?
Right.
No response. Or glazes his question, but not informing him of that.
Can I ask you a question? Does your order say you have to contact the child, the babysitter before you go to pick up your child?
No.
Then why are you doing it?
To prove to
No. You had the proof. You see how they screwing you, right?
The answer that the babysitter's a girlfriend's mother
Okay.
who's just around the corner.
Okay.
And I told my situation is she's lying.
Yeah. That's what I was
She's
going.
lying.
That was gonna be my point.
Right.
That's my point. You don't have to notify her. You're doing it because. Stop.
Just
Stop.
show up.
Just show up. And then if if they call the police really can't do anything because it's
Order out.
right. You right there have just cut off the snake's head because she can no longer use her girlfriend or her girlfriend's mom to stop your access.
Right, so, but you talk about game plan, this is my game plan.
Okay.
Why I do it. She has that tie-breaking authority. So daycare is changing, why am I not notified? Daycare keeps saying he's not there, he's not there 3 out of 5 days a week, who's watching him?
So this is what we do. We say that the court order needs to be modified for non-communication. She's supposed to let me know. Tie-breaking authority only comes into play is when there's a decision on something.
Yeah, I mean, but daycare, from what the judge said, daycare, schooling, recreational sports, medicine, I'm gonna say medicine for like doctors,
Right.
dentistry and all that.
Right.
Those are the.
Tie-breaking authority.
Right.
Right.
So now she's in contempt of it, right?
Right.
So that's
Because
why-
basically, this is what I'm trying to say. You get your thought together about how you want to look at it. We put it together to where it shows that she's not doing something because of, and point out to the fact that the ruling that you made, and I told you I like putting it back on courts to let them show how they screwed up. Okay, how it's benefiting, how it's costing you your time with the child. Okay, that's all we got to do. That's all. It's not rocket science. You just have to have willing participants to help you get through this. And I'm willing to help you because it's affecting you and your access to your child.
And the rest of us.
Yeah, and the rest of
Thank
you.
you. Because we don't get to see him at all.
I know. Listen. Before I hate to say like before she passed, she kept my son away from my mom. But on my son's cell phone, who is it a picture of? My mother, his mother, and him in the middle. She kept him from her. But it's been real today. I'm gonna let you know right now. My 35-year-old, me and her brother supposed to go out because she's decided to start her own in another state. So we're gonna go out. But I also, because today is his birthday, my dad's birthday. I said, well, don't you want to see your grandson? He's now 16, and your granddaughter's leaving on the 7th to go live in another state. So I'm like, you can come out with us to see us on your day. I want things to get better for a lot of fathers. I don't want fathers to have to go through what y'all are going through, what I went through, because I'm going to tell you, I was a nervous wreck. I had to go call my job's EAP because I'm going through, I'm at wit's end. If it wasn't for my stepkids, I don't know what would have happened. Mine, Mr. Eric, all right? Yeah, he's fine. Just let him lay on the couch a little bit. But from what I experienced, I never want nobody to go through that. Never.
I don't know if my son going through it. I'm up late at night typing.
So, I'm gonna just throw more of what I got going on out there. So she's opening up the case again, right?
Okay.
Because she found a Pendente Lite.
Pendulite.
That's it.
Pendulite. Go ahead.
So with her filing that, she believes that's grounds to withhold him from me. Now, going into that hearing, would it be smart, before going into that hearing, would it be smart to file for an emergency hearing? Like,
Emergency-
would I get a hearing before that hearing?
Emergency hearings only held because of there's a severe threat to the child or um, movement, like going out of state. So they're not going to hear it. I'm gonna tell you right now, they're not going to hear the emergency hearing.
So just wait for that.
Pending light.
Whatever.
But I want you to do something. I want you to write this down and use your cell phone. 443-768-8158. 443-768-8158. Because
Who's number?
Huh?
Who's number?
that's mine.
Oh, okay.
So we can talk about this because together you can put we can give you the aspects to fight against the pendant light. Okay? Have what you want in there as well. Okay? Because she's trying to do it without you. She's not including you. You want to be included in every aspect. You heard me say in the beginning, I don't know if you was in here when I said it. It takes 46 chromosomes to make up a child, 23 from you, 23 from her. Okay? You count just as much as she does. Anything else, anybody? You said you had the female, so
Yeah.
I got some questions, because
okay. So you want to wait till we talk, or you want to do it here?
I'm already started.
Okay.
So I have a pending charge, a pending criminal charge. She
Against her?
against me,
No.
Or against her.
her against me,
Okay.
her against me. Also a name change.
Name change for the child.
Yeah.
You know that was in law. That was just in Annapolis. That was just in Annapolis this year for a child of an unwed parents to have both parents' names on that, not just hers, both.
Okay.
So you can use that one for your argument too. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
She lied about child abuse that she's withholding. Now, with everything being painted,
When she said she lied about child abuse, did they come out and start the investigation process?
there wasn't nothing found it, so no.
So who said it was nothing found?
Doctor's office and CPS
And the police.
and the police.
I need you to have those in your possession, copies that show that it's a fabrication. Reason being because, excuse me, when you're using the child to fabricate stories like that, Merlin, do you find fault with a mother for that? Okay? Hold on for a minute. I say, but keep going. Let's keep going.
So whenever I get a hearing for this pendant light,
Mm-hmm.
when she's opening up the case again,
Mm-hmm.
will all of this be grounds to award me more days?
Yes. Yes. Because you just helped the court paint a picture that she's unfit. Yes. And I would want you to do right now, I would want you to start looking at the days that you want. Remember, 94 is just the base minimum. 86 is half. All right, 270 something days, that's 3/4 of the time. I don't think the judge will give you that because she's not loony.
Not that unfit.
Right. So basically, I would, you know what? How's it written? Shoot for the moon and you'll get the stars.
Okay.
All right?
Curveball. She's saying that in order I can see my child, I just got to sign up for supervised visitation.
Who? What?
Yeah.
Who? The court said that?
No.
That's what she said.
Oh, excuse me. Screw her.
Hell no.
Screw her. Sorry. No. She. This is what. And listen, if I hope you give me permission to send her a letter saying stop putting unfounded parameters on you. okay? Because you're the father. You have not been found in contempt. You have not been found guilty by the court. So stop with the unnecessary drama. So you know what? Basically, if we do this for you to help you with this, and you take it to court because we're an actual 501c3 nonprofit organization, and you present this to the judge, because normally with mine, I would start filing it. So when the judge saw it, come court, the day in court, he would look through it. But now, how the judge wanted, they want to look at everything at that time. No problem. I can still do that. So basically, have that done. Say, I have something I want to present. Make 2 copies. Copy for you, copy for her, copy for the judge to see. Okay? So you present. This is what's wrong. This is what she's been doing wrong. She's been holding my child from me with no basis of from the courts of what she needs to do. She's violating your order.
That you just put in place.
Yes.
It's just been a month.
It hasn't even been 2 weeks.
There you
It's been a month. And it's like, no,
Oh, yes.
it's been a month. Yeah, it's been a month.
I'm excited.
And then it's like, no. We're like, what? And the other part of the order is, my husband and I are listed in the order as folks that's supposed to pick up the child.
and she's not allowing y'all access to do that. So she's in contempt. She's in contempt. And you know what you basically do? And you know what you do with that? Since she's not allowing your parents access, you get them to sign something and you get it notarized. And you take it to court if they don't go to court. What you take it to court, say, here's a notarized letter that she has not been allowing my parents, their grandparents' rights, and according to that she's violating the order. This is not rocket science. This is your custody. You deserve the access to your child. I'm sorry if I'm getting too hyped up.
No, you're
You're right there with us.
This is access to your child. Excuse me, somebody just said something. My homeboy, well, one of my board members said, it's like an act of terrorism. She's holding the child as a hostage and using the child support as ransom.
Oh, that's being paid. That's not even an issue.
But is it coming out the check?
No, that's not even, it was not really in the child support system, but I do send child support. It is in the order for me to send child support on Cash App. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
You hear this, right, Anthony? Okay. We gonna have a nice conversation. Oh, let y'all know if y'all wanted to view it, we are up for a grant from the United Way it's called the Change Maker Challenge Grant. We're trying to get $25,000 to do a Step Up Dad program. Step Up Dad program is to help fathers step up using the courts, not the courts, but using the knowledge that's out here for them to go on with their custody and to not always depend on the courts to do it. Okay? They want us in court so many times, they need to give us access to try to do better things. So when we go to defend our position for the Step Up Dad program, they're allowing people to come and they're allowing people to view it online. So if you want to view, because we have to do a 3-minute pitch, if y'all want to view that, what we're going to do, just give me the email address and I'll send it out there to y'all so y'all can view it. Just want to let y'all know that. But
How quickly can we get the Dente
Pendulite,
Pendulite schedule?
that ain't got nothing to do with me. That's downtown.
Because right now it hasn't been open. I've been checking case search every day and
Right. You can. When was it filed?
and, 21st.
Oh, well, you got time.
But now summertime is coming up.
I know, but see, I'm sorry. I'm gonna say this right now. I'm sorry. Family court is 60 to 90 days. Okay? Family, it's been real. Y'all have my email address. Y'all have my phone number. Reach out to me.
Now, you
Everybody-
need email?
Email. Oh, winning strategies.
Wayne, Winnie?
Yes, winning strategies. .fcc@gmail.com. I'm sorry, sir.
No, I'm good. I'm within my 3-hour window.
All right.
What was your name again, Ronnie?
My name is Eric.
Not all that stuff that you all.
Oh, you good.
All right, y'all. I'll see y'all later. Anthony. Hey, my wife is on here. I thought you're supposed to be at work late. See y'all later.